Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Hello, everybody out there in social media. I hope you're doing well on this Thursday. I am Scarlett. I am the founder and CEO of Wonder Curl. It's been a while since I have done a live, and I don't know. I kind of miss it. I miss you guys. I miss doing lives, and I hope to do more. It's just that things have been so crazy lately. Just trying to find the time to slow down and go live. It's just one of the hardest things. But thank you guys for joining. Today, I figure I'm going to take my braids out, and I figure why not do it live? We can chat about hair care. I can give you guys advice, answer your questions. We can talk protective styles, or as I choose to call them, long term, low manipulation hairstyles, because let's be real, nothing protects your hair better than moisturizing your hair. If you have any questions, this is the place to ask it. Hi, Kay. So today I am live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We are live everywhere. So you can join if you don't have one or the other. So there's places for everyone to be here. Feel free to have your questions ready. So I braided my hair. I think this is going to be week 4. And I did it myself. So it's the first time I've actually braided my hair um, myself. And the last time I got braids was when I was probably like 12. But I love it. I love having these braids in my hair. It just made my life so much easier. I still shampooed, conditioned, um, did everything on my wash day. I dried my hair using a diffuser. So it wasn't like a set it and forget it. So I feel that people call like braids or weaves a style. How often should you trim your hair? Well, that's a good question. And actually, as I take my braids out, I have my shears right here because I noticed that I had quite a few little single strand knots going on. So I will be doing a search and destroy as I go in there. But the frequency of your trims, it's going to depend on your hair and your goals. So if you don't have any breakage, if you don't have split ends, and you're not trying to maintain a certain hairstyle, then you don't need to trim your hair all the time. Like I get my hair trimmed once a year. Okay. And that's because I don't get breakage. I just get single strand knots. And after a year, my hair starts to feel like Velcro. If you have a hairstyle, like maybe you keep your hair in a bob and you want to maintain that bob, then yeah, you're going to have to get your hair trimmed fairly often, maybe every 4 to 6 weeks, to maintain that style. If you have breakage, if your hair is extremely damaged and you don't want to big chop it all off and start over, then you should be trimming your hair every 4 to 6 weeks just to remove the damaged ends as your hair grows in. So that's how often you should be trimming hair. It's really going to depend on your hair health and what your goals are. So great question. Now, again, going back to the braids, I just wanted to give you guys like a little information about how I've been maintaining my hair. So, as I mentioned earlier, I was still washing my hair once a week like I normally would. The only difference is that I didn't have to sorry, I have someone's chatting with me, but I didn't have to detangle my hair, obviously, because it's in braids. And I have a fan right here because I don't have central AC, and it's pretty warm in my bathroom, but I have a fan and I'm in front of a window, and it's like 90 degrees here in New Jersey. So I'm going to be sweating. Bear with me. But yeah, so I still have been maintaining my hair while it's in braids. My motto is moisturized hair is protected hair. If you are not doing everything you can to moisturize your hair and maintain that by keeping your hair hydrated, then you are not protecting your hair. Whether your hair is in braids, whether if it's in twists or whatever style you're doing, hoping that it's going to help you to retain length. Retaining length comes from hydration. How you get that hydration is by shampooing your hair, removing all the oils, the gunk, the dirt from your hair, and also allowing the cuticle to lift so it can open and absorb moisture. Moisture is your water, it's your liquids. That is how you maintain hydration. And then as you apply your conditioners, your leave-ins, that is how you lock it in. I've done that. That's what I do every week. So whether my hair was in braids or if my hair is loose, that is how I am taking care of my hair to maintain the hydration, the moisture in my hair. Otherwise, if I waited 4 weeks to not wash my hair would be so dry. It would feel like straw. So if this is you and you're like, oh, I only wash my hair once every few weeks, you're not washing your hair enough and you're not giving your hair the hydration that it needs. So you know what? I should probably grab some clips. I just thought about it. I have a few clips here. Yeah, and so I braided my hair. There's no additional hair in here. This is all me. And what I noticed is I braided my hair while it was straightened from a blowout. And it was a little too straight. It looked good at first, but then after I washed my hair shrunk. And then because the braids weren't that tight, a lot of strands, as you can see, have gotten loose out of the braids. And what happened is that those little strands started to knot up. So I have quite a few knots in my hair, and that's why as I start taking the braids out, I'm going to snip it. And you know what? I'm going to turn this fan so that it's not directly on me. So do we have any more questions? Oh, and I have this comb that I bought specifically for this purpose. So we'll talk hair care. What I wanted to share, since my hair is in what some people would call this a protective style, where I didn't have to like comb my hair, and it's not a lot of, you're not getting a lot of mechanical damage when your hair is in some style where it's tucked away. So basically, you're protecting your hair, but you're only protecting it from mechanical damage, right? Mechanical damage is the blow. You know, when you are combing your hair, when you're manipulating your hair, that is mechanical damage. So when you are putting your hair in a low maintenance style, you are giving it some level of protection, but it's not a set it and forget it. I think that's the one thing I really want us to think about is we don't want to just try to forget about our hair because it's in a style where we don't have to touch it all the time. You still want to maintain your hair. All right, so we're going to start from the back. And the interesting thing about my hair is that the very back is much looser. So you can see it's been coming out on its own without my help. And I sort of just left it alone. I tried rebraiding it. It didn't do much. So we are here now. So we're just going to take these. And when you're taking out your braids, since I don't have any extra hair in here, I'm starting at the bottom and working my way up. The products I've been using while my hair has been in this style, the shampoo bar, so the detoxifying shampoo bar, just the same way I have been shampooing my hair. I just did it while my hair was in braids. I took a little bit longer in the shower, like with the water running, just to try to make sure that I got as much of the shampoo, the lather out of the middle of my hair. So I sectioned my hair same way as I would if my hair was loose, and just ran the shampoo bar along those sections. Got a good lather. I made sure I got into the scalp, because one thing that I noticed was that my scalp was getting itchy. So I made sure that I got into the scalp, cleaned the scalp. And I also have video that I'll be posting showing you what that looks like. So now let's see. I can still feel it's still braids. So you want to make sure I try to get all the way in there. As you see, my hair is like a looser texture in the back. It's so funny. So I shampooed it, rinsed it out, made sure I gave it a good rinse. Oh, and there's the shed hair coming out. Lots of shed hair. It has been 4 weeks since I've had my hair in braids. And so I'm kind of like a tree hugger, you guys. So I will be composting my hair as much as I can. So we'll keep that nearby. Okay, so let's make sure we got as much of that out. And we're just going to go braid by braid by braid. I don't know how long this process is going to last. I'll be here for an hour, and then maybe I will do the other hour in front of the TV. I've been rewatching, what's that show? Uh, Living Single on Max. So I've been enjoying that. All right. So after I have shampooed my hair, I condition it. And I use the Hydrate and Renew to condition my hair. You can use the Restoring Hair Treatment. Either one will do the trick. I'm just used to using the Hydrate and Renew in my hair. It's a lighter weight conditioner than the Restoring Hair Treatment. So that's the conditioner I recommend if your hair is low porosity or medium porosity. You can use the Hydrate and Renew, but if your hair is high porosity, then you want to use the Restoring Hair Treatment because it has more emollients in it. Since I haven't given my hair a really good clean, because even though I've been shampooing my hair, you can't. Look, there's more strands. I feel more strands coming out. So even though I have been shampooing and conditioning my hair, and my hair does not feel dry because I washed my hair last Friday, you know, you can't get effectively into your hair when your hair is in braids. So there's probably some sections in my hair that that might still have a little bit of oil and dirt. So I'm going to give my hair a really good shampoo. I'll probably will do a clarifying treatment, and then followed up with a deep conditioner. So that will lead me into, I always get asked about clarifying versus cleansing. And then a lot of people will do deep conditioning treatments every week when you really don't need to do that. So when should you clarify? When should you cleanse? If your hair is not damaged, if you do not have damaged hair, you don't color your hair, you don't have heat damage, your hair is just, you're just like, my hair is dry, I don't know why, but I don't have damage, then you should be cleansing your hair every single week with a shampoo that gives you a good lather. Whatever that shampoo is, it can have sulfates, it could be sulfate free, and just needs a good sulfate alternative. The detoxifying shampoo bar, it is an all natural handmade cold pressed soap So there are no sulfates, but it's soap, so it gives you a really good lather and it cleans your hair. But it's not a clarifier. It's not going to clarify your hair, but it's going to cleanse your hair. So this is a product, the shampoo bar, that I use on my hair once a week. Every time I shampoo my hair, I am using the shampoo bar for my regular hair maintenance. Again, my hair isn't damaged. When my hair was colored and I went blonde, then I was using the Hydrate and Renew as my shampoo because I needed something that was more hydrating or moisturizing. So I feel there's a knot in here. Okay. So that is when you should be cleansing. If your hair is damaged, if you have maybe you've bleached your hair, that's when you want to start using those hydrating low poo, no poo shampoos. Okay. Otherwise, you want poo. You want the poo. Okay. You want that good lather. What that lather is going to do, it's going to bind to those oils and the dirt and wash it away. And it's also going to help your cuticle to lift so you can absorb moisture. If we have any questions, we're talking about shampoo. So when you should clarifying is going to be a lot more harsh because you're going to be really stripping it all away. So if you haven't shampooed your hair in weeks, right? You've had your hair in a protective style like my hair has been. So even though I've been shampooing my hair, I haven't been really getting into each strand. So I want to make sure I give it a really good clean. So I will be clarifying if you have product buildup. Maybe you had a special occasion and you had to put a lot of hairspray, a lot of product in your hair. Then you would want to do a clarifier. If you haven't washed your hair in a few weeks, maybe you've applied more oils and butters, then you have product buildup. You will need to do a clarifying treatment. Hello, Naturally Nene 61. Welcome. Welcome from YouTube. And so that's when you would want to clarify. Clarifying, it sounds exactly, it's going to remove all of that build up in your hair. So I feel like my hair is going to need that. So that leads me into deep conditioning because some people deep condition every single week because we've been told that we need to deep condition every week. I've had people argue me down and say you should be deep conditioning every week, and I'm like, why? Because I need moisture. Well, deep conditioning, believe it or not, guys, conditioning is not what's moisturizing your hair. Conditioners do not moisturize your hair. That's crazy. A lot of people probably are like, what are you talking about? But they say you use conditioners to moisturize. Conditioners have oils and butters in them. And so that lubricates the strands. It coats the hair. It helps to smooth the cuticle down so that your cuticles can then lock that moisture into your hair. So that's the hydration part. But hydration essentially is getting moisture into your hair with shampoo, and then conditioners aid in the process because it helps you to lock that moisture in. It starts that process. So that's conditioning. So when do you want to do a deep conditioning treatment? So if you, as I mentioned, if you did a clarifier, then you would want to deep condition because you have essentially stripped your hair of everything. It's now wide open. It's gonna feel a little bit drier because of the clarifying treatment. Then you want to start putting back what you removed. Then you would want to do a deep conditioner. Or if your hair is damaged, if you've colored your hair. But if you haven't done anything like that to your hair, you don't need to be deep conditioning every week. I'm saving you time and money because deep conditioners, you end up using more of it to create like a mask. You spend more time because you leave it in for like 20, 30 minutes. And you guys, when you deep condition, you should not be leaving it in longer than that. Okay, don't leave it in too long. Now, I've had my braids in for about 4 weeks, so it is time to take it out. And I probably will put my hair into twists after this. Right now, I am just like all about low maintenance. Do we have any other questions? Do we have any good questions for me? Now is the time. Maybe you've been wondering about why is your hair so dry at the ends? What are the things you can do? This is the time to ask it. So, even though, again, my hair hasn't been in braids, I've still been maintaining it. And after I shampoo and condition my hair, I towel dried it so that it could be nice and damp, but I didn't want it to be soaking wet. And I applied my moisturizing hair pudding. I've also done it with the sealing hair butter, so either product will do the job. Although I kind of prefer the pudding in my braids. So I would use the sealing hair butter on my hair when I'm installing the braids or when I'm braiding my hair to start locking in that moisture. But then after I wash my hair for maintenance purposes, I would use the pudding. So when I'm about to get my hair, put my hair into my twists, I will be using the sealing hair butter because I leave the twists in for a week and then I take it out and then it'll be another hairstyle for another week. So, and I don't wash my hair for 2 weeks. And then I would probably give myself a really good shampoo and condition. As someone with colored medium porosity coily hair, can I use oils? So, yes, anyone can use oils on their hair, but when you should be using those oils. So if you're talking about using like raw oils and butters on your hair, the steps, people had it all wrong, right? You should not be putting oil on your hair while it's still wet. It's going to make it harder for your hair to absorb moisture. It's going to make it harder to absorb whatever products you have on it. You should use those, and it should be a lighter oil, not heavy ones. Lighter being like argan oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba. So you want to use lighter oils on your hair after it has dried, using it as a finisher. So you still want to use your leave-ins, your creams that have the oils and butters incorporated in them on your wet to damp hair. So since your hair is medium porosity and it's colored, so I would recommend, like if you were to ask me like what product should I use in the Wonder Curl line, I would say you want to still shampoo your hair with the detoxifying shampoo bar, and then follow up with the restoring hair treatment. Use that as a regular conditioner. You don't have to deep condition. And then your leave-in would be the sealing hair butter. And if you wanted to, after you've dried your hair, sitting under a hooded hair dryer, then you would finish that, locking it all in, smoothing it all down with the Gimme Shine hair oil. So that is the process. You want to use your oils on your hair last as the finisher, but don't use it on your hair when it's wet. And I think that's where everybody gets it wrong. So, hi, BBE Slim. Yes, it has been too long. And every day I'm like, I should go live. And then I don't because it's just been such a busy time for me right now. I have family visiting, and so it's just been a lot. But I'm going to try to get back into going live. Like, I do enjoy being live. And now I'm seeing that taking my hair out of the braids, this is something I'll probably end up finishing downstairs because I'm in my bathroom. Unfortunately, I don't have central air and I am hot. I have sweat dripping down my back. I hope you guys don't see it, but just keeping it real. Okay. So do we have, that was a great question. So we had someone ask about trimming earlier. Someone else asked about using oils. So I'm not completely against oils. I like oils. They have a purpose, but it's just making sure you're using it the right way. And some people will use oils and that's it on their hair, and they're still wondering, why is my hair dry? Obviously that's not working for you. So as I take my hair down, I'm using the pointy part just to help start unraveling, and I'm starting at the ends and slowly making my way through. Taking my time, I'm not rushing. I'll probably wash my hair tomorrow. Maybe I'll come back live tomorrow. But yeah, so you just want to make sure, even if you're taking your twists down, you don't want to start in the middle. You want to start at the bottom and just slowly unravel. Take your time, you guys. Don't rush. I know I kind of want to hurry up and get done with this. It took me 8 hours to put these braids in, so it's probably going to take me a couple of hours at the least to take these out. And I might put them back in at a later date. Maybe I'll go live when I start the process. It took me 8 hours. I started at 7:15 p.m. and I was finished at 3:30 a.m. But it was fun. I loved having these braids in. So, do we have any other questions? Well then, let's get into how your protective style is not protecting your hair. Let's talk about the things that we are doing that is keeping our hair from actually being protected. So, the first thing is when you get them put in too tight. Are you guilty of that? Have you done that? Have you put your braids in and you needed a Tylenol because you had a headache? If that is the case, it's too tight. You're going to have tension alopecia if you continue to do that. So you don't want to get them installed too tight. You want to make sure that there's a little bit of space. If it's too tight, it's going to ruin your hair. It's going to ruin your scalp. You're going to have hair loss, and if you get what's it called, scarring, then you may not ever grow your hair back. So you definitely want to make sure you stay away from getting them, your braids or your whatever style it is, that it's not too tight. So that's the first one, where it's too tight. The second one, way that our protective styles are not protecting our hair, and I talked about it earlier, is when we're just leaving it in too long. You don't want to leave it in longer than 6 weeks tops. That's what all of the experts agree. So you want to make sure that you don't leave them in too long. I've had these braids in for about 6 weeks. No, 6 weeks, 4 weeks. I've had my braids in for about 4 weeks. It's time to come out and braid my hair and do something else with it. So that leads me to the next one. And that is where we are doing back-to-back protective styles. Back-to-back. You're not giving your natural hair time to breathe. So there are some people who get their braids or whatever protective style, And then, maybe once a month they wash their hair, and then they put that style right back in. You should be giving your hair, give it at least a week in between. I know some of us, we just want to be easy peasy. We don't want to deal with our hair. I get it. It's a lot of work. Afro textured hair can be a lot of work. I know mine is. Sometimes I don't want to deal with it. That's why I put it in braids. But I also know that I like my hair long. I like my hair healthy. It's worth the effort. So I take that time. I put it in. Whoops, almost dropped my comb. So you don't want to, so you want to give your hair time in between. You want to give it some time. Maybe put it in a ponytail, put it in a bun that week, but definitely give your hair some time in between um, your protective style. The next one, third way that our protective styles not protecting your hair is when we do it as a set it and forget it. You put your hair in that style and you just don't touch your hair again for months. Some people it's months, maybe it's weeks. You're not protecting your hair if you just leave it alone. You have to wash your hair still. You have to maintain your scalp health still. You need to be taking care of your hair. If your goal is healthy hair, if your goal is to have healthy hair, these are the steps you should be taking. If you don't care, then you know, it's not, it's like whatever. But if you care about your hair, you want to maintain it, these are the things that you should be doing and you shouldn't be doing. So we shouldn't just put our hair into a style and then leave it alone for weeks to months. You should still be washing your hair in between. I had someone message me and she said that she puts her hair into mini twists for 6 weeks and she doesn't want to wash her hair every week. And I'm like, why not? If you're not going to wash it every week, do it at least every other week. But you should still be washing your hair in between that time. And then when you take your hair out of that style, you want to do a clarifying treatment and then a deep conditioning treatment. Let's see. And if you guys have any suggestions, like tips, or if you're saying like these are the other ways that people can be keeping their hair from getting, like they're not protecting their hair. We talked about a set it and forget it. We talked about getting them in too tight, doing protective styles back to back, and not giving your hair time to breathe in the middle of it. What else? The type of hair that you're using, the synthetic hair. And I don't think that, or at least I have not seen much discussion about the type of hair that people are using when they add hair into their installs. What type of hair will also make a difference? And yes, I know it's expensive to get braids installed. And of course, the hair, depending on if it's synthetic to human hair, it can run you into the thousands. I get that it is very expensive. And synthetic hair is a lot cheaper. I love that there are a couple of companies that are using plant-based hair versus plastic hair. Because here's the thing with the plastic hair is going to dry your hair out faster. It's going to wick the moisture away from your hair. However, using human hair is going to mimic your own hair, so it's going to help it. So the type of hair you're using will also make a difference. Now, people who should not be doing protective styles or getting braids with extra hair, if your hair is fine, if your hair is very thin, that can add more stress to your hair. It can make your hair break off faster. So if your hair is very fine or thin, you probably want to try something else. Oh, this process is taking a little bit, it's going a little more slowly than I thought. I don't know why I thought I'd be doing this quickly. Maybe because I'm talking as I go through my hair. But definitely my hair is going to need a really good cleanse. Like it feels a little like, it feels soft, but it does feel a little like gummy. You know, when you have like residue feeling. And that's going to be normal only because like you're not going to be effectively able to remove everything when your hair isn't loose. So do we have any other questions for me? This is the time, you guys. While I'm live, this is a great time to have your questions answered. So let's talk about some myths about protective styles. Now, one that I hear and read a lot is people will say things like, "My hair grows like crazy when it's in a protective style." Let's discuss. Let's unpack. Like, is your hair growing like crazy? Is your hair growing faster while it's in a protective style? No. Your hair is growing at the same rate. Whether it's in a style, whether you leave it loose, whether you shampoo it every week, or if you leave it alone for a month, your hair is still going to grow. It's still going to do what it does. We have no, control over that process. That is the body. Just like we don't have any control over our nails growing or our heart beating. It is just a natural process that our body is doing without us having to think about it. So look at that. So I want to make sure I don't get any knots. So I'm just going to take and just gently run it through. Taking my time, no rushing. Okay. So yeah, your hair is going to grow at the same rate when it's in whatever style you're doing. So protective styles are not growing your hair faster. It's just not. Sorry, guys. What it's doing, it is giving you a break from manipulation. That's what it's doing. So you may find that you retain length when your hair is in a quote unquote protective style. I like to call it a long term, low manipulation. Maybe I'll call it a LTLM. LTLM. How does that sound? Little, little. LTLM, like it's in a long term, low manipulation hairstyle. So you're not manipulating your hair, so you are reducing mechanical damage. But again, your hair can still become dry and brittle if you're not shampooing and conditioning it. So your hair will grow, but you could still get breakage. Your hair can still become brittle if you're not caring for it. So those are things that we want to think about. I know so many people who had their hair in braids and they're just like, I know my hair is going to be so long when I take them out. And then they're so disappointed when they find out that they have to trim most of that hair growth off because their ends of their hair was so dry. So don't let that be you. If you're putting your hair into these low manipulation hairstyles with the goal of length retention so that you can have longer hair, then you still want to maintain your hair. I think one thing is to take your time. I say that a lot. Be gentle with your hair. Speak nicely to your hair. Think of your hair as part of your self-care process. Think of it as wellness, not as a chore. I think that's the other part is that we look at taking care of our hair as this chore. But when you will go and spend hours at the nail salon, you spend hours in some getting, what is that your lashes, getting lashes done. And I want to say hi to Dietra. Dietra, is that how you pronounce your name? Dietra? Hi, Dietra. Good to see you here. Thank you for the likes. So Jade says, I feel like wash and goes are causing my low porosity hair to break off. So, let me ask you, what is your process? Like, how are you doing wash and goes? Dietra. So I pronounce the I and the E. Yes. Yes. And I like Dietra better than Dietra. So I'm glad. Yeah, so I want to know, like, when you're doing your wash and goes, because my hair is also low porosity. And this, whoops, the products you use and how you use them, it's going to be different for low porosity hair. Um, for those of you who don't know, low porosity hair, it's the cuticles are more closely compact. They don't lift as easily. So it takes longer for low porosity hair to absorb moisture. This is so on time. I'm taking my braids out now. Oh, great. Let's do it together. For washing goes, I use leave-in and mousse, water, and I air dry, and it gets super poofy at the root. Okay. Okay, perfect. So first, I never recommend air drying for anybody. You should sit, if your hair is coily, like tightly coiled, you should be sitting under a hooded hair dryer. Now, I don't use mousses on my hair. I should try it. I've tried it once. I've tried one brand. I didn't like it. So I might have to go out and try another one just to see the difference. But so here's the thing with low porosity hair again. It also gets product buildup easily. It holds on to product. So while it's harder to get that moisture into your hair, once you get it in, it's harder to lift the cuticle. So you always want to make sure you are using a cleansing shampoo. Cleanse your hair. Okay? So we have the detoxifying shampoo bar, which is great. Love that, especially for low porosity hair. It gives you a really good clean, but your hair doesn't feel dry. But you'll notice the difference. So I don't know what kind of Jade, what type of shampoo you're using, but you want to make sure that you are using cleansing shampoo, cleansing your hair. Follow up with a low, lightweight conditioner, something that is not heavy. So you don't need deep conditioning. You whatever they tell you, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't deep condition your hair. You don't need it. Your hair isn't damaged. Deep conditioning treatments are gonna make it harder for your hair to absorb your product. So use a lightweight conditioner. I like to use from my product line Wonder Curl is the Hydrate and Renew. And then for the application, how you're applying the products, I feel like you probably already have a good grasp of how you're applying it. But for those of you who don't know how to apply your products, you want to do it section by section. Low porosity hair. Now, I've seen some cool videos of people with like medium to high porosity hair, and they take their comb or their brush and they run it through their hair and they get these perfect little ringlets. And I'm like, ha! I'm like, my low porosity hair could never. It could never. I have to really work that into my hair. So if your hair is low porosity, then you want to use your fingers. You want to work that product. So I forgot a step before that. You want to make sure your hair is soaking wet when you apply your products. Soaking wet. And then you layer your leave-in and then your styler with your fingers, working it through, making sure you're really working that product into your hair. If the roots are poofy, you might need to add more water to your roots, go in smaller sections, and before you start applying more product. And then the final step which is key, is heat drying. Sitting under a hooded hair dryer or using your diffuser. Air drying could also be the reason why you have breakage. So you want to keep that in mind. Air drying is the enemy of healthy hair. Believe it or not. I know that's not what we've been told for years, but don't do it. So Dietra, she is has been one of my favorite customers. As she says, I've been using my products. I started using the pudding and sealing hair butter in March. Yes, and I believe you joined the Wonder Curl community. So welcome. If you guys want to join the Wonder Curl community, it's simple. Actually, I can't type it in on TikTok, but I can type it in the other channels. So there it is. You can join community.wondercurl.com. That is how you join the Wonder Curl community, and it is just a wonderful grouping of curly haired people. And we all have the same goals, and we're sharing our hair journeys with each other. It is such an uplifting, wonderful space to be in. We have places where you can leave your hair challenges so you can show before and after and your progress of your hair as you've been using the Wonder Curl product. So it's awesome. We do giveaways from time to time when I remember and I have the energy to do them. So there, and you also, the more you post, the more you engage, you get loyalty points, and then those points become discounts towards your next purchase. All right, so Jay says, I used Whey Detox Shampoo and Design Essentials Oat and Protein Moisturizing Shampoo. Okay, so you don't need protein in your hair. And you know, protein moisturizing shampoo, that's kind of like an oxymoron, right? Because it's either proteins are either going to build the bonds in your hair, but it's not going to moisturize your hair. So I feel like it's kind of like they're trying to, these are all like beautiful, fluffy marketing words that they're throwing them all at you, right? They threw it all in. I'm surprised that they didn't say hydrating oat and protein moisturizing shampoo, right? Like let's just throw in all the words to get those dollars. So you probably only need to use one shampoo. I'm not familiar with the ingredients, but if the Whey Detox Shampoo, if that gives you a good lather, I would use that by itself. For protein, I stay away from proteins. I stay away from them. Protein treatments, that's something that is great if you have over moisturized your hair, if you have hydro fatigue, right? Your hair has become limp from too much moisture. Maybe you're someone who swims, you're in the water all the time. Maybe you used to sleep with conditioner in your hair and now your hair is limp. Maybe, from air drying, you've noticed that your hair has become limp. So that's when you would do protein treatments, or if you've dyed your hair and now the bonds are broken. But you don't need to do protein. You don't need protein shampoos. You don't need those. I would not use them, especially if my hair is low porosity. I'm just saying. So I don't know if it's the wash and go that's causing your hair to break. It could be some of the products because they're not the ones for your hair. It could also be your technique. Air drying is bad. For those of you who know me, you know that I am not about air drying. And plus, it takes my hair forever to dry. So I would not want to leave my hair wet for longer than it needs to be. Yes, thank you. Community.wondercurl.com. That's it. Join the community. It's free. It's fun. post your questions. If you like, oh, Lindsay, hey girl, would I put mayonnaise in my hair? Oh my God. Well, short answer is no. First of all, I'm vegan, so I don't use any animal products on my hair, and regular mayonnaise has egg in it. I'll tell you guys a story. Like back in the day when I was in high school and I used to when I used to relax my hair, I put mayonnaise. I did a mayonnaise treatment in my hair, thinking like, yeah, my hair was so greasy. My hair felt so gross. I was like, never again. No. Save the mayonnaise for your macaroni salads. Save it for your potato salad. Save it for your burgers. Do not put mayonnaise in your hair, please. You guys, like, let's just stop putting food in our hair in general. The rising cost of produce, and we're putting it in our hair. Like, no, don't do that. Eat your food. Eat your food. Do not put it in your hair. Mayo in the hair, it's just too heavy. It's too much. It's going to be a lot harder to remove from your hair. So I would not recommend that at all. Not at all. Even if it was a vegan mayonnaise, it's just too much. I wouldn't do it. Even though when I make my vegan mayo, it's with aquafaba, and and that's the other thing, is that we have to think of all the extra ingredients. And is this ingredient even made for hair? Eat it. Eat it. So, oh man, like it is 2:50 and I'm not even like a quarter way through my hair. I might have to finish this tomorrow. Maybe I'll come back live tomorrow with you guys. I don't know. It's a lot of hair. Yeah, I have a lot of hair. I hear people, they're like, "Oh, I wish I had hair like you." And I'm like, "No, you don't. You like how it looks when it's done. Do you want to go through this? Is it worth it?" It's a lot. Yeah, it has taken me about 2 days taking these out. Okay. Love always, Blue Jay. So now I know what to expect. I'm thinking like I was gonna start this last night, and I was like, oh, maybe I should start last night and finish it live, and I think I should have done that. I should have listened to my gut and started it last night while I was like catching up on some of my shows. So I guess I'll probably just finish that out. But those are you guys have really good questions. Really good questions. Any other questions for me? Let me know. Throw them in the comments below. If you've used the Wonder Curl products, if you have questions about the products, this is the time and the place. This is my happy place. Like I love answering your hair care questions. So if you have any, let me know. I've been mostly talking about protective styles today because my hair has been in a quote unquote protective style, but really, you guys, it's a long term low manipulation hairstyle. It's time for it to come out. And then I'm probably thinking once I take these out, I'm going to put my hair into twists just because I just kind of want to break from my hair for a bit. But this is kind of therapeutic. All right, I have to put the fan on me. I am hot. I don't have central air, and I don't have an air conditioner in my bathroom. So for those of you who are just joining, welcome. My name is Scarlett. I am the founder of Wonder Curl, and I love talking all things hair, hair care. I help people grow their longest hair, their healthiest hair. So if you have questions, now is the time. I've had people tell me, they're like, I learned more from you in an hour than I had with my stylist for years. I was like, wow, that means a lot. All right, so and knowing me, I'll probably just keep doing this till tonight and just get it all done and wash my hair tomorrow. Um, but yeah, my hair has been coming out. I think I might just do twists, 3-strand twists. Let me know, should I go live when I do my twists? Is that something you guys would want to watch while I'm live? You can see the products that I use. Maybe I'll do that downstairs where it's a little bit cooler in my house. So, for the next 5 minutes before I leave, I just want to recap a little bit. Oh, great question. Naturally, nay, nay, 61. What is the purpose of a hair pudding? I wish next time I'll make sure to have products in front of me. So I have a hair pudding. I call it the moisturizing hair pudding. So your pudding is going to be a leave-in. It should be creamy. When I created the moisturizing hair pudding, I made it as what I wanted a pudding to be. I wanted this to do for my hair. Per simply selfish reasons. But basically, I wanted a product that was going to keep my hair conditioned and soft. I wanted it to make sure that it melted into my hair and didn't cause product buildup. So a pudding is a leave-in. It's going to be a little bit thicker than your regular leave-ins because, some leave-ins are thinner than others. But when you think of a pudding, you want to think of something that has like a pudding consistency to it. And that is going to help to smooth the cuticle down. So he's talking about cuticle, and one of the things that we hear a lot is that the cuticle opens and closes. It does not. It's not like a door. It doesn't open and close. It doesn't go back and forth. But what it does is the cuticle will lift or it raises, and it swells as it absorbs moisture. And then the cuticle will smooth back down. And that's how you lock that moisture into your hair. So a pudding is going to be a little bit more emollient rich than a regular, like lightweight or a liquidy kind of leave-in. And it's going to help with smoothing that cuticle down. Smooth the cuticle down. So that's why when you use, like, for example, the moisturizing hair pudding, when you're using the moisturizing hair pudding in your hair, when people apply it to their hair, they notice how soft and conditioned their hair feels because it's got aloe vera, shea butter, and castor oil are the main ingredients. So they immediately see and how it helps to start. It has a soft hold to it. So that's what a pudding does. A leave-in is going to start with helping you to smooth the cuticle. That's more technical than just saying locking in the moisture, because the cuticle needs to be smoothed down. The cuticle lifts and it swells when it absorbs moisture, and then it smooths when it's closing. When not closing, but when it's drying, it smooths. And using a product with oils and butters helps with that process. I hope that answered your question. And Honey Pop asks, do you wash your hair in your twist, and how often do you wash your hair? Yeah, so my hair has been in braids for 4 weeks, and yes, I washed my hair once a week while it has been in these braids. Yes. If you do mini twists and you plan on leaving those mini twists for more than a couple of weeks, you should still be washing your hair. You should still shampoo, condition, leave-in. When I dry my hair, I was using my diffuser. So I was still going through the whole process, same as I would on my regular wash day. The only difference is that I didn't have to, what's it called? I didn't have to detangle my hair, but I was still shampooing, conditioning my hair. So right now my hair feels soft, but it also, I can feel like I have a little bit of buildup in my hair. I can feel it on my fingers. So I will be doing a clarifying treatment. I will be removing all of this gunk and then a deep conditioner. And then I'm probably going to put my hair into twists. Is it good to run some pudding through the braids with extensions? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So the same process that you would do on your hair when it's loose, you still want to do it with your hair in braids and extensions, even if you have synthetic extra hair in there. Because remember, your natural hair, your hair that you are growing, that still needs moisture. It still needs that nourishment that you're going to get. So you still want to shampoo, condition, and use a leave-in on your hair. And then you want to heat dry. Don't think that just because your hair is in braids, extensions, crochet, that you can skip this. You should still do it. Can you show us how much we should be using? You skipped my question. Oh, I guess I didn't see it. I was probably looking down. So your question, was it about how much of the pudding you should be using? If that's the question. Um, it's all going to depend. But if your hair is in braids, you don't need to use a lot, even if your hair is loose. So I I'll be posting videos throughout my social media showing how I've been using the products on my hair while it's in braids. So you'll be able to get a better visual. But it's the same concept where you put you apply it in sections on damp hair. So while my hair was in braids, I towel dried my hair, and then I applied it in sections, small amounts. So I would scoop maybe about like a quarter size, a dollop, into each section, and then worked it into my hair. So you don't need to use a lot. Said you are using too much. Okay, even without braids, it's the same concept. Small amounts and then build on it. So when I say build on it, what I mean is when you're starting in that one section, so you're gonna go section by section. So you're gonna work your products into your hair, section one. And then when you're done with section one, you move on to the next section. So while your hair is damp to wet, depending on your hair's porosity, then you take small amounts of the pudding, right? If your hair is low porosity, you want your hair soaking wet. And you apply smaller amounts. And then look at that. Thank you. Thank you for the badge. Thank you, guys. So you want to feel the texture. How does your hair feel? Is it smooth? Does it feel conditioned? If not, apply a little bit more. Apply a little bit more until you can see that it's been applied throughout your hair, that section, and that section of your hair feels conditioned to the touch. And then if you're applying, and so for some people, you only need a little bit. Some people need a little bit more. So it's going to be how your hair feels to your finger pads. And then if you're using a styler, then you would apply your styler over that. So you guys are so welcome. Thank you for your questions. These are really good questions. I'll hang on a little bit longer while I take my braids out. If there were any other questions, I was planning on going live for an hour, but if you need more, let me know, and maybe I'll even come back on a little bit later if I'm not too tired. I've been feeling slightly like just I've been feeling kind of sluggish today. I think it's hormones because I did get sleep. You know, I feel like some days that I just don't have the energy levels no matter what I do. I had some yerba mate. That didn't help. I had lion's mane. I'd probably still be on my couch right now taking my hair out, but I was like, no, I told people I was going to go live. So do we have any more questions? If not, I'm going to do these last two pieces and then I'm going to finish the rest off camera. But thank you guys for joining me and being a part of my live. Um, I haven't done lives in a while, but you know what? I'm gonna do more, and I'm finding that I can stream in multiple places, so I might be doing more. Okay, the last question by Natural Nene. What do I think about the Curie do? All right, so I actually had the pleasure of meeting the founder, Heidi, and I got to hang out with her when she first started Kiridu. She gifted me a Kiridu. We actually swapped. I gave her some Wonder Curl products. She gave me a Kiridu. I will admit I didn't use it as much as I should have. And it's like at the time I didn't know that I needed it because my hair was colored, so it was medium porosity. Now that my hair is low porosity because I don't color it, I wish I kept it. I gave it away. I wish I kept it because I was like, darn, that Kiridu right now would come in so handy. I think it's a great product. I love the concept. I love the how it's not a cheap feeling product. It's not inexpensive. It's not an inexpensive product. I think they're like $60, $70 or maybe even more by now. So, but it is a good product. It has a lot of nice weight to it, and I felt like I liked the performance of it. So I really like the Kiridu. I think it's one of those things like if you have low porosity hair, you find that your hair has a really hard time of absorbing moisture, it will aid you in your process of getting moisture into your hair, and it can also help your hair absorb your products. It is a great product. Now you can do like a poor man's Kiridu. So I've used the mist, from like a facial machine. If you have one of those, you can definitely use that as well. So if you don't have the money to spend, then you can use them in different places. You can use something else for steam. You use it to redo your twist. Nice. I mean, now I wish I kept it. I wish I kept it. I did. Save this live. Absolutely. 100%. This is being saved. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And maybe you didn't get to watch the very beginning. So you will be able to catch the replays. Um, if you're on TikTok, they only save it for 30 days. But I will be reusing a lot of this content. So don't worry. You'll see it again. How do I use the shampoo bar every week? So my shampoo bar, for those of you who are not familiar, is the detoxifying shampoo bar, and it has activated charcoal in it. I love this. It's a great product because it cleans. It gives my hair like such a good feeling. It feels so clean. Now, when I wash my hair, maybe tomorrow, I will be using a clarifier. So the detoxifying shampoo bar is not a clarifier. It's a cleanser. I talked about the difference between clarifiers and cleansers earlier. But every week, and I use it, I put my hair into sections because my hair is very dense. So depending on the density of your hair, maybe you put it into two sections, maybe four. I put my hair into four sections. And then I just take the shampoo bar. Let's pretend this is the shampoo bar, and I just run it down the length. I get it into the scalp, and then I get a good lather, and I work that lather into my hair. That's how I use it. I get each section lathered and then I rinse it out. And I do that every single week. Well, not I won't say every time I wash my hair on a regular wash day, which is typically weekly, but sometimes I get lazy. Do we have any more questions? I have this one last. It took me an hour, over an hour. Oh, and I'm getting hungry. Plus, I want to make sure that. Where are you? One thing I have to say about the braids is that I loved having my hair in braids. Like, there are times when I straighten my hair and I miss the curls, and I'm like, oh, I miss my curly hair. I have to say, I haven't shed a lot of hair. I'm quite surprised. I thought I was going to lose a lot more hair. Um, but with the braids, I loved it. I loved it. The only reason why I'm taking these out is because I've been getting knots in my hair because I've had a lot of little strands of hair that had come out of the braids, and those were getting knotted. So I was like, it's probably time to take this out and do a good clean. So what do I clarify my hair with? I'll show you. Let me go grab it. It is Briogeo. So, all right. So I'm using the Briogeo Scalp Revival. This stuff is amazing. Like I don't normally use other people's products on my hair. But I bought the Briogeo, and this is the one that like I use it when I need to, and I don't need, and you know what? I've had this for a few years, and I don't use because I don't clarify my hair often. So as you see, you don't need to use a lot of it. It's great. It smells great. This is my detoxifying shampoo bar. So this is what I use on my regular wash day. So when I wash my hair, I will be using the Briogeo Scalp Revival. Their deep conditioner is good too, but of course I like mine better. I like my restoring hair treatment a little bit better, but their products are pretty good. So you guys love the questions. Maybe I'll come back live a little bit later. Um, so I am using, and I have to figure out, is it necessary to oil your scalp? No. Your scalp should be clean. It will produce its own oils. It's by sebum. You're welcome, Honey Pop. You're so welcome, and thank you. I appreciate you guys too. But no, you should not. You should not. If you feel like you need to oil your scalp, you should see a trichologist because your scalp should be able to produce its own oils, and that's sebum. Um, and sometimes when you're applying oils, you can be clogging your pores, your follicles. You can be trapping in dirt in there. So I wouldn't recommend it. I remember I tried it once just to see what all the hoopla was about, and my scalp got so itchy I had to like wash it right away. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. So I would not recommend oiling your scalp. A healthy scalp does what it needs to do. You can massage your scalp. Massaging your scalp is nice. It's relaxing, something that helps to reduce stress. Anything that helps you to reduce stress is going to be beneficial to your body, to your mental health, to your hair. But no, It's interesting, you know. I leave my scalp alone. I shampoo, condition, I apply my products from root to tip, but after that, that's it. The scalp is off limits. All right, guys. So I'm going to head off now. You had some great questions. Thank you so much. And be sure to follow me on social media. If you're not following me, be sure to follow me. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook. Um, Also, be sure to join the Wonder Curl community, WC community, and that is community.wondercurl.com. Be sure to join. It is free to join. Whatever questions you have, it is a community of people where we're sharing our hair journey. So be sure to head over there. Yeah, and if you have any other questions I didn't get to answer, or maybe you didn't think of it till after this is over, you can shoot me a DM. Um, you can, yeah, send me a DM. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.